Welcome back to Collabetition. This is a powerful tool that has allowed me to become financially free and just creatively passionate about everything I do. And I see ideas everywhere, and it's a product of this tool, this powerful, life-changing paradigm, way of thinking and being creative in the world that I want to share with you in later videos. But kudos, thanks for joining me. You could be watching cats right now, but you've taken the time to come learn and raised to a higher level by listening to me for a couple of minutes a day. And kudos on you for that. Well, as I said to you before, to take action, we could take action in all sorts of ways, but to take massive action, we have to focus on our being. And that's what this video is about. Collabetition is a powerful action-oriented tool, but to take that action, our thoughts follow. And what are our thoughts other than what we believe, our worldview, our paradigm about the world, how we interpret events. And that impacts what we see. And as I said, it impacts what we do. And that leads to what we have. Now, what did Earl teach us? As he said, we become what we think about most of the time. But I would like to say, in addition to that, we become what we believe. All successful creative entrepreneurs believe certain things. That's for sure. They may be doing a myriad of different ideas, projects, businesses, but there's certain things that they believe, aside from their knowledge, there's certain things that they believe about their capacity and their ability and just the way they see the world that allows them to take those massive actions. And that's really where I wanted to start this journey, is in the mind, because 80% of success is psychology. The rest of it, the doing, anyone can do stuff. There's tons of stuff you can do, but if you don't, again, see the opportunity, you can't seize it. And it's happening around you all the time. Once you get to this point of using these tools and getting this mindset in the way I've laid it out, you'll see that the world is filled with these kinds of opportunities for you to be creative and monetize that creativity. Now, the issue is what thoughts or beliefs about ourselves and the world are holding us back. And that was the purpose of the previous video. Write down 5 sort of roadblocks or ideas or limiting attitudes that you have about yourself, whether you're afraid of failing, you feel guilty because maybe your parents told you to follow one path and now you have to leave that path to follow a new path that's more aligned with your heart and how you feel about expressing yourself. And I shared a bit of my story. I said that for me, it was the starving artist. I imagined that I would be on the street holding a tin can with 2 pencils in it, and I would be selling those pencils, and I was homeless. That's how vivid the impression of the starving artist was repeated over and over again from people that, were in my circle. Again, school, parents, society, friends, all reinforced these negative memes. And I'll go on to talk about the negative memes that are holding us back, that infect our minds, these sort of brain bugs. And what I did in my particular case was that I changed starving into starring. I just changed the R in starving to the V in starving to an R, and it became starring artist. I would be an artist starring in his own movie, an artist starring in his own product, in his own play, in his own, whatever creation that I thought of. So I upgraded from having one story to having 2 stories. And that was the upgrade that I was referring to in the previous video. I can't change your beliefs about how you currently feel about something. What I'm attempting to do is the upgrade, not because I said change is a word that is very difficult to do. What we want to do is upgrade, and the upgrade happens by just adding on another story to the many stories that you've acquired. You've acquired those stories through repetition, but to get to the level that we want in our creative, monetizing, financially free life, we have to adopt new stories. So these new stories challenge the interpretation of what you currently see in the world. Now, I like to use that phrase. It's not that seeing is believing. It's that you will believe what you believe is what you see. Some people think you have to see it to believe it, but you have to believe it to see it. You have to first go out into the world with a certain belief system, with a certain attitude, with a certain paradigm, a worldview. If you have the worldview that, life is a struggle, you won't be surprised that the events and the things and the people and places and circumstances that come into your life will remind you that that worldview is true. So we all live our truth, but it's a matter of getting towards upgrading that truth, because it's not a right or wrong. It's just about results. And if you want these results, here are the things that you're going to have to believe. So another phrase I like to use is, in terms of how do we upgrade, we don't just want to pay bills. Because as I said in the previous video, many of us are so busy being busy, and it's just a reality. We have, jobs, and, some of us may have kids and long hours, and, the society, at least for the middle class and lower middle class, and even below that, we're being grinded. And that's a whole nother topic of conversation. But there's so many challenges for those of us who have been in the rat race. I've experienced it myself. That's why I'm making these videos for you. Our attention, our energy flows where our attention goes. I'll say that again. Our energy flows where our attention goes. And if we focus on just solving the bills, we're never going to leave space for the attention and the focus we need to find those ideas that are going to change our lives. You have to trust me on this, but keep following me here, and thank you for trusting me so far, and I hope you do. So it's these things that will change your life. Take two people. The first person works hard and hopes to avoid failure, while the second person goes out into the world and works hard to succeed and find success. So you want to change your focus. You want to upgrade your focus to a focus that is one of a finder as opposed to an avoider. See, you don't, a guy's driving or girl driving towards the wall. They don't want to say, don't hit the wall. You want to say, drive on the road. If you focus on what you don't want, you will attract that into your life. So I want to give more examples of people like the guy who invented Velcro, discovered it by those seeds that were hanging on his clothes, and he put it under a microscope and he saw that it had a tiny little hook on the end. And that's how he created Velcro. Sarah Blakely, who, was trying to look for spandex that she could wear as kind of underwear. So she bought pantyhose and she cut the feet off. She observed, she noticed something. Dalla Magna, inventor of the tweezer man guy, he looked at the fact that tweezers were being used to set diamonds and to fix electronic devices, but that this little tool could be used in beauty salons for plucking hair and shaping eyebrows. He noticed something. His attention was focused on what he could find, on how he could take an idea and turn that into a business or monetize his creativity. So I'd like to end this video with an exercise. When you wake up in the morning, focus on what I call an attitude of gratitude, because it's this way of viewing the world that will begin to let that energy flow into your life. That focus energy, that paying attention energy. It's that energy that's going to allow all these ideas and opportunities to come into your life, because you will no longer be stressed on what to avoid. You will be focused on what you want. You'll be then focused on how you can contribute to the world. And if you contribute enough to the world will contribute to you. You'll be fulfilled creatively and you will be fulfilled financially. So that's the exercise. Attitude of gratitude. What are you grateful for? Thank you so much for joining me. Actually, let me leave you with another quote. To give everything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Stay creative.